So, Promising Young Woman is a brand new movie, written and directed by Emerald Fennell, and it stars Carey Mulligan and a whole bunch of other people. And it's about this woman, played by Carey Mulligan. She experienced some trauma in her life, and now she's taking revenge in very unique ways, shall we say. And I remember, seeing a trailer for this movie back in, January or February or something, thinking, that's interesting. And obviously with the pandemic, it got pushed back all the way till Christmas. And I couldn't see it until about 3 weeks later because movie theaters are still shut down in my area, unfortunately. And honestly, this movie really surprised me in probably the best way possible. This movie is incredible, honestly. I really enjoyed this movie. Let's start off with Carey Mulligan. She is fantastic in this movie as she portrays all this various layers of this character, the trauma that she faces, her anger towards everything that's happened in her life. It is very fascinating to see how she progresses, how she deals with all these issues in her life. I never really got Carey Mulligan as an actress until this movie. She is fantastic. This is her best performance to date. It is really good. Also, Bo Burnham surprised me in this movie. It's at first you're kind of thinking, oh, okay, this is going to be this type of character. He's just going to be in this movie playing this type of character, and then you realize, oh, he's not. And, he's got a bunch of layers too, surprisingly, and it's always weird, seeing comedians in, dramatic roles, but it's this is kind of a mixture of both for him. It's he's gonna be kind of funny, and then, later on when the movie goes on, you learn more about him, it's okay, you're not as funny as you were, and I don't know if I like Bo Burnham anymore, unfortunately. Also, the cinematography honestly looks really incredible. I noticed from the trailer, the colors just popped right off the screen. In this movie, they really do pop as well. I forgot the cinematographer's name, unfortunately. But it looks very stunning as well. And it also has a very interesting message. Obviously, this is a Time's Up, Me Too type of revenge movie. And at first I was thinking, oh god, is this gonna be more like Black Christmas or more Invisible Man? And thank God it's more like Invisible Man, because it takes its subject matter very seriously. And it doesn't really talk down to people about it. It doesn't really try to make people feel stupid or anything. It just makes people aware of all these issues, a bunch of hypocrisies, a bunch of issues, and it does it in a very intelligent way throughout the majority of the movie. And it's still very relevant, unfortunately. Also, the tone, I also thought was really interesting as well. They said, oh, this is going to be a comedy, a very dark comedy. And yeah, at times it's definitely very funny. I laughed a lot, even at moments where I really shouldn't have. I feel like a jerk for doing that, unfortunately. Meanwhile, they try to blend other genres as well, horror movie. It does feel very scary at times, unfortunately. Well, I don't know. It's definitely a very scary movie, I would say. It's also it's very funny, it's very serious, very frightening at times too. Because when you realize, oh, right, oh god, that's... And some of the things that Carey Mulligan does, and you're oh, wow, I did not really see that coming. And you're do I really sympathize with this person? Or do I fear her? And essentially kind of do both. And I think that's what another thing the movie does very well, is that you can fear this person, but also really understand where they're coming from with everything that's going on. The only issue I honestly really had with this movie is there's just a lot of random appearances by actors throughout this entire movie. And most of them don't do anything. Alfred Molina's in a couple scenes. He does nothing. Molly Shannon. Why? Jennifer Coolidge is her mother. Again, why? Laverne Cox is her best friend. Okay. They all play characters who basically just, give exposition. And, I kind of could have done without that, honestly. because like it's honestly more of a distraction, honestly, unlike someone like, you know, Carey Mulligan, who just transforms into this character, or even someone like Bo Burnham, who also does a fantastic job. It just comes, their performances just come across as more distractions more than anything. But other than that, Promising Young Woman, I thought it was going to be like one of those like shocking movies that's like it's just gonna shock you without really trying to be a fantastic movie. But no, it's a fantastic movie. I laughed. I was terrified. I thought the performances were incredible. I thought the tone was great. I thought a lot of it was actually really good. This honestly might be one of my favorite movies of 2020. I will give Promising Young Woman 3.5 out of 4 stars. See it. So, what is the most surprising movie? What was the last movie that really surprised you in a good way? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.